Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. I'm your host, Carlos Stargell, aka OG Lowe. First of all, I want to say thank you for tuning in if you are. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button at Carlos Stargell 910. Anyhow, I want to thank y'all for each and every of the ones who tuned in. Hey, what's up, Scooby? How you doing? But you know good, man. What's up, bro? Hey, bro, hit me up. Hey, Sippy. Hey, look. Let's bring up something good on this podcast. I hear you, Scooby. Hit me up so we can go live on it, man. Let's talk about something good, bro. Come on, do that for me. Yep, man. I'm glad you're doing blessed. I'm doing good too, Scooby. I'm waiting on you, man. Call me. Waiting on you like a security guard. Oh, you on break. Okay, I did what you say. You at work. Okay, forgive me, bro. I don't want you to get in no trouble, man. I don't know what time you take your break, but I'm just doing this like for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what you're saying. Go on and do your job, man. Don't jeopardize your job over something stupid. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You still my bro. But anyway, that's my boy Scooby. Now I'm gonna tell you something about this cat. I've known him since he was a very, very little big kid. Yeah, we got to tell about the old school pranks too. Yep, but I've been knowing him since he was a kid. But it's funny though, because when he became a teenager, we got a lot closer than what a lot of people expected. But glad we did, because I heard when we lost contact over the years, somebody had told me that he would listen to an old school jam. And they said, what you know about that, Scoop? He said, I learned from his old cat named Carlos. So they found out that I was the old cat named Carlos that Scoop had been talking about forever. Yep. And just for an example, one of Scooby's friends, he asked me, he said, I'm not going to mention his name due to the respect that I have for his privacy. He was like, don't you got a play brother named Scooby? I said, yeah, how you feel? He said, that's how Scooby talk about Carlo. Well, Scooby, I must have did something. What did I do so spectacular for everybody? For you I'm glad I'm good for something, but I must have did something very, very spectacular for you to talk that, for you to think highly of me, and I appreciate that too, bro. I mean, and I always talk good about you. I say you the only person that can tease me about my bald head. And I remember that question you asked me. How the hell you get a bald head and you going bald? I still laugh about that too, Scooby. And you know you a mess. Oh yeah, about them prank phone calls. Is this Mr. D? Yes. So man. Well, when you said that, I fell out the chair laughing. You remember that, Scooby? And you know what? There's a whole bunch of them. We can't reveal a lot of them can't reveal a lot of them because, somebody you don't know who listening. Yep, and that's true. Oh yeah. I always keep it real, Scooby. Me too. And I'm like the dating fam. Keep your name out your mouth and keep your mouth shut. And I know you know about that dating family. Top authority and all them cats, man. Shoestring. Man, but Shoestring had a solo album represent to the world. And that was underrated, but it was tight. Yes, buddy. Yeah, Scooby. You see Scooby laughing and say, keep your name out your mouth and keep your mouth shut. Boy, that was the best way the dating family ever put it. And they put it so well, just like Dr. Dre had the best diss track ever when he dissed Luke, when he said, if it ain't another, then I got to gap teeth in your mouth so my guts to fit. Boy, when I first heard that, I was like, oh shoot, now Dre getting down now. I said, that's the best. I knew he can rap, but I ain't know he can go off like that. But well, it just surprised me because That's one thing about rappers. If you call yourself rapping, you got to know how to go off, and that is so true. Cause I know some guys that can flow, and I know some that I know some that can get down with the get down. Like two of the original Atlanta rappers. Yes, I do know them both. Edwin Lyons, aka Mojo. What's up, brother? And my man MC Shy D, Peter John. What's happening, my man? And Torrance Hall, you know you part of that clique too. You might not be no rapper, but you part of the clique. Hey, look, we represent Shy D, man. Ellenwood. That's why we partners today, man. Lifelong partners, buddy. Look, Ellenwood for life, baby. Yeah. But getting back to you, Scooby. Man, that's one thing about Scooby. Let me tell you something about this man. He is one hell of a drummer. He the first person I heard play the drums in church and got those Dr. Dre beats. I mean, he got some tight beats now. Scooby can get down with the get down. Now, if y'all, like I say, when we back in the day, this dude they used to play named D. Now, don't get me wrong, he was all right. But when Scooby started playing, Scooby took it to another level. Now that's what you call a drama. That dude can get down. But I thank God. But Scooby, I want to thank you too. When you told what you told me back in the night, he said, "Man, you still got it. You need to get back on that mic." Man, I appreciate you telling me that though, man. I was hoping and praying I didn't lose it the first time, but when you told me that I still had it, man, I really appreciate the confidence, bro, on the real, because like I said, I was still young, and people talking about if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. Well, I still use it. I ain't lost it yet. So, like I tell everybody thinks I'm a bass singer. No, I am not a bass singer. I am straight up baritone, maybe second tenor. But I can get up higher than a lot of people think I can. Like, don't be surprised, especially when I'm feeling it. Now, when I'm feeling it, y'all know when I'm feeling it because I let it go. Because I let it go. You dig where I'm coming from? Now you can tell when you know when a person can sing. Scooby, you know this for yourself. And then they try to pretend like they can't sing. Now, I remember a time, Scooby, you got to hear this blood. I remember one time I was making like I couldn't sing. And that girl came out who I knew came out of nowhere talking about, man, you know you can sing. I don't know why you playing. I said, and I told her, you know what I told her, Scooby? I said, be careful what you ask for. And then when I did, when I really, really showed her that I could, she was like, oh, okay. She said, I ain't know you could do it like that. I said, nah, I said, I sound good enough. I told her I sounded good enough to shut her up. And she said, yeah, you sure did. I said, now let me get you, let me let you get, now hit a note for me. She said, Mom, I can't sing. I said, that's what I thought. So, but like I said, being my boy Scooby. Now, I'll tell you another person. Now let Scooby tell it. I was the one that hit them the Dolomite, Blowfly, and all the old school. And guess what, y'all? Scooby's right. He was around, even when he was young, he was around me enough to know who I like and what I like. Ain't that right, Scooby? Yes, Lord. But anyway, my homeboy, that's my homeboy. I mean, that's my brother for life. So yes, I am like big brother to Scooby. We go back before Soul Train got knocked out of syndication and all that. So you know we tight. But I remember the first real conversation me and Scooby had. He was trying to get somebody. I think he was trying to get somebody he was dating a Valentine at the time of Valentine Day gift. And he told me he didn't know what to get her. So I told him, it's not about the gift, man. It's about the thought. Just get her something nice, little thing. You know what? I said, look, bro, I said, look, I mean, it don't have to be the big things. It could be the little things always. Little things mean a lot too now. And he told me, he said, you know what? He said, you know what? You always knew what to say. I said, well, I tried. And I'm glad I'm good for something. And so whatever I told him, whatever he did, it must have worked because he came back. Then he called me like a couple of days later. He was like, bruh, you know what you said the other day at church? He said, you right, man. He said, you were absolutely right. I said, you know what, Scooby? I said, you know, I said, at the time, I think I was in my 30s. And he was still like he was still high school. And he said, you know, he said, man, he said, you know a lot about life. I said, I know enough. I know enough from experience, man. I ain't gonna say I know a whole lot about life, but I know enough from the experiences, I had, good and bad. So I said, that's where you learn from your experience. And I said, that's how a lot of people become preachers and ministers too, because they done been through the storm. I remember one preacher I know told me, he said he felt like the mighty clouds of joy. He was in the storm too long. I said, yeah, you had to get out too before you got struck by lightning again, then you brother. So now he's a minister, a pastor. I'm very proud of him. Scooby, and I told you about him before, Scooby. My boy Jonathan Davis from Clarkston. Man, now I'm gonna tell you this, Scooby, just like I told him. I told him I was already feeling good to hear that he had got saved. But I told him when I heard he got called to preach, I was so happy I wanted to jump the moon and take him with me. And when I told him that, Scooby, Jonathan holler, he said, boy, you still Carlos. He said, you still a mess, but a good mess. And he said, that's why people loved you and trust you. I mean, everybody did. I told her, I told her, I'm glad I'm good for something. I said, that's how, I said, you know, I said, that's how the Lord wanted for everybody to be righteous and everybody to strive for righteousness and at least try to get along. I said, that's what we need more in this world today because I said, and then I told him the sad part about it. A lot of people don't even put forth an effort to try to go to church. I mean, I know church is in your heart, but fellowshipping, let me tell you something, fellowshipping is a lot. Fellowshipping is great if you ask me. I don't mind fellowshipping. Because you know they in the Bible they say if it's two or more, y'all know what time it is. And fellowship, I mean, it don't have to be a mega church. It can be two or more. Long as you fellowship and that's serving the Lord. That's what I loved about when I was in Georgia. My pastor, Manny Kushmir. It was a small congregation, but the good part about it, we 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 rejoice and we fellowship. But the funny thing about it, after she get through with her sermon, she was bad about calling me out to do a song. But you know, it was all good. It was all good because number one, I mean, I didn't mind doing it, and number two, I did it for Miss Minnie because she was, cause you know, be honest with you, she's a real sweetheart. I mean, this lady brought me out of a lot of stuff what I was going through. And when she heard that I found love again, she was so happy for me because, like I told her, this is the first time ever that I got a whole lot of love, support, praises, and blessings. I never got that much. I've never gotten that much of those in my life until now. And y'all know what? It feel pretty damn good to get it because, and I thank the Lord for it every day, all day, every day, because that's hard to, stuff like that hard to find, y'all. I mean, it's rare and it's hard to find. But when you do get it, like they say, you got to hold on. You got to hold on to what you got. And that's true. Now, if you feel that you can't make it with somebody, I mean, don't even try to put forth in the effort to try to waste their time. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, Sometimes it don't have to be you. It can be them. But long as you know you doing your part, long as you know that you're doing the right thing, and long as you know you in your heart and you content with God, everything that stuff that I mean, they don't matter. But I know we all go through whatever. We all be down and sunk our necks sunk in our bodies. Excuse me, like the word, like our word don't come to him. But guess what? Don't get that low. Don't never. I mean, I got to practice what I preach to. I'm not gonna ever get that low to where I don't want to be. Where I don't want to get up and not be bothered again, because that was. I mean, even though sometimes it takes time to heal, but one thing I learned in life: don't give up, and please don't give out. And guess what? I did neither. I just needed to lay low at that point in my life. But when I did, it was just like a retreat to me, because I mean, just get away from certain stuff. Block out all the BULLSH. Put like the BULL sugar honey iced tea. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So took 5 years. Should have took longer than that. But it's all good, because it wasn't, like I said, it's not my time. It was the Lord's time. And when the Lord, like they say, when the Lord tell you something, you better listen. And that's true, because they say follow your heart, and they say follow your heart or your mind. Well, guess what? I follow my heart. I stepped out on faith. I did what was best for Carlos. And I don't regret my decisions at all, especially up until now. And I don't regret it. It makes me feel good to say, and it makes me proud to say that I am happy, I am content, and I am satisfied. Very satisfied. Now, one thing I can always say, they say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, guess what? I get my cake and I'm damn sure gonna eat it, cause especially if it's yellow and chocolate ice, I'm gonna eat that sucker. So don't tell me I can't have my cake and eat it too, cause if you give me some cake, come on, get up. I don't care what y'all say, but I know what they mean when they say that though. But I was just trying to be smart ass, so you know how that go. I'm just keeping it real now. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't finna sit up there. I ain't finna sit up there and try to sugarcoat it and try to co-sign and try to watch and try like well you know the word. I ain't trying to tell you I ain't trying to do like Big Bug. Telling you stories. Yeah, but anyway, so much for that. But my boy Scooby, a lot of groups from the old school, other than like especially comedians, but a lot of groups I introduced them to, like, of course, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Ohio Players, Mandrill, Graham Central Station, Sliding the Family Stone, and the Fatback Band. I know you remember them, Scooby. You remember I told you about one of the ministers at Evergrade. I told you like one of the members of the Fatback Band. You know what I'm talking about. Don't say his name though, but you know what I'm talking about. But I think I told Scooby and them cousins the first time I saw that preacher. I told me, not our pastor at the time, but one of the ones in the pulpit roster. I told one of Scooby cousins that dude looked like one of them dudes from the Fatback Band, and Scooby just busted out laughing. He was young, but evidently Scooby knew what I was talking about. Right on, Scooby. But anyway, but I thank God for Scooby every day too, because like I said, that's my brother for life. But I remember one of his cousins, I ain't gonna mention her name due to respect I have for her privacy. And yeah, we family, baby. I love you. But I ain't gonna call you out. I ain't gonna put you out there unless I guess I had your consent. That's a form of respect, dear. But anyway, she told me, she said, I ain't know you and Scooby were talking like that. I said, good, please. Me and Scooby been tight. Me and Scooby been tight longer than y'all thought. Long as y'all think. I said, me and Scooby, I told her, me and Scooby didn't get tight. We got tight when he became a teenager. And I had to school him on something. So that's how we got tight. And I told him, took him under his wing, it made me feel good to know that somebody actually looked up to me for real. Because there's a lot of people, older cats I used to look up to growing up. But it feels good when somebody who can you have somebody who can look up to you, especially when they're younger. I mean, especially when you set a good example as well. I mean, like I said, we not perfect, but we damn sure try to strive for perfection. But I mean, and then when a kid looks up to you, you must be doing something right for them to look up to you. But I don't do nothing spectacular. I don't get out there and try to overkill and try go out my way to try. It just come natural. I mean, if it comes natural, it comes from the heart. Good Lord, you better believe it's real. But if you got to go if you know that you're not that type of person who will go out your way, and then it act like it kills you just to do it, guess what? Something wrong. You know what though? It's something inside of you that ain't right. Either you need Jesus, either you need a drink, either you need your butt kicked for real. Because you can't go around in life looking sour mouth and stone face because you mad at the world and nothing can't go your way. It just don't work like that. You got to be righteous and stay humble because and treat people like you want to be treated and just do the best you can. That's all I can tell you. I mean, we're not perfect, but I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not perfect, and I sure as hell ain't trying to pretend. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm not gonna try to act like I am because I'm not fake either. I'm not. I mean, it's hard. I mean, some people say they're not fake, but guess what? Actions speak louder than words. I mean, the ones who always bragging about what they ain't and what they are, guess what? They probably the total opposite. But always remember, like I said, action is louder than words. When you show action, you don't have to say nothing. Show it. You don't have to say nothing, just show it. And you really, to be honest with you, you don't have to prove nothing you don't have to prove nothing to anybody but God. That's all I can tell you. You know, I mean, you ain't got nothing else to prove. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. If they can't accept you for who you are and think they can accept you for what you got or what you don't have, people like that can go. People like that can they can let the doorknob hit them where the dog should have bit them straight in the butt. And like I said, we don't worry about them. We keep them, like I said, people like them and negativity and all that's what's irrelevant is not allowed to welcome in our circle. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, brothers and sisters? That's right. If you want good out of life, like I said, stay positive and remain humble and be true to yourself. Please don't try to pretend to be something that you're not. And don't try to pretend to have something that you ain't got. In other words, you don't have to fake it to make it. And you got a lot of people that do. And I had to tell somebody that before. They got mad and got an attitude with me. But guess what? I ain't care because guess what? I don't argue with people. I don't argue with people. Oh, excuse me. Put it like this. I don't argue with narcissistic people. I mean, that goes for anybody, not just one person. That goes for anybody who's narcissistic, who think it's all about them. Never wrong, but you got to be careful too. Those are some dangerous people. But guess what? I'm just as wicked too. You think you can hurt me? Guess what? I can catch it. Look, I can catch it before you. I can intercept before you succeed. Uh-huh. And I don't have to get physical to do that. I can get you where it hurt. I make you feel like your soul got snatched out of you. I make you feel like, why you do that to me? I make you feel like that. I make you look like daddy's stupid face. Or mom or mama dumb look. So I'm letting you know right now. If you treat people like you want to be treated, respect others like you want to be respected, and you won't have no worries on the strength. And I want to thank my boy Scooby for, he didn't call, but he chatted with me on him, and I really appreciate that. I love you, bro. Hey, look, I know we couldn't go live this time, but we got time, Scooby. We got time. But I got to catch it. We got to catch each other when we catch each other. So when you want to go live, my man, let me know, and I'll make a spot for you. Cool. All right. Well, my time's just about almost up in a few minutes because I said I'm gonna do it for 30 minutes. I could have extended it if I wanted to, but today I just don't want to. I just don't feel like it. I mean, I would, but man, come on. I'm just like anybody else. I want to chill. Lord have mercy, can't thank you, Jesus. So, but like I said, I really appreciate y'all for the ones who tuned in to my video card. And plus, I appreciate Scooby for chatting, but I had to answer, and I appreciate you, Scooby. And like I said, if you want to go live, or if anybody want to go live, inbox me. Let me know 2 or 3 days in advance so we can make plans to schedule. And if you inbox me, I will give you my number. And that way, I mean, just if you want to go on my pod, I will make plans for us to do this morning or evening. But I just want to say this right quick. I will be back tomorrow morning at the 9:30 hour. And I will be go live again, like after the rush hour, like 6:15, 6:30 hour. I will be back tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button at Carlos Stargell 910. So until then, I will be back tomorrow. Station identification, OG Lowe's Hangout Corner. Your host, Carlos Stargell, aka OG Lowe. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you all. I love you. Peace to fingers. I'm out here like the last year. Talk to y'all tomorrow. See you soon. Good night.